Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. So this is probably my last video for today. We're going to do that live later. Like I say, if I don't fall asleep again. But I need to talk about this because we had the civil rights movement. We was freed from slavery, but yet never completely freed from slavery. In fact, it's been a clever move upon us where they've gotten us to accept different variations of slavery. Let me give you an example. If you're a boxer, you just Mandingo 2025. They was Mandingo 1860. You Mandingo 2025. So it's still a form of slavery. They just paying you to entertain them because they like seeing you beating people up and they like seeing y'all beating each other up. So, and meanwhile, it's people that ain't never even stepped foot in a boxing ring promoting boxing. Like when they go to Saudi Arabia, he done became the top fight booker in the world practically, because of the money he had that he didn't get from slavery tendencies. So they just basically got us black people to accept different forms of slavery. I was just making a delivery. And like I was just talking to somebody, every 10 years in Milwaukee, it'd be like a new dominant foreign group. Like in the 80s and the early 90s, it was the Middle Easterners and the Saudis with the little stinky stores and gas stations everywhere. Now it's the Sikhs, it's the Indians. Who is going to be next? Probably either the Africans or the Asians. Because we're starting to see more and more Africans coming over here getting that money. And no, they not. Look, man, we FBA, we Hebrew Israelites. It's a difference. It is. Now, we might have the same ancestors, but a lot of them take the same attitude towards us as these other races. Not all. Like I done met a lot of them that was cool, but a lot. So they just done got us to take more form of slavery. Black dudes talking about how much money they got and who broke. But they don't own nothing. They can't hire people. They can't pay somebody and change their life with pay. You know, you don't own nothing. You just making money. Like, and let me tell you something. If you're a drug dealer, a boxer, athlete, you don't own the team. It's like you are Mandingo 2025, like I say. Like how they was using the house ninjas and the Mandingos to keep them entertained. You fiddler. You like Fiddler on Roots. Like the master like you a little better than the other slaves, but you still a slave. You fiddler. So, how is it that these other groups can come over here and just practically dominate the U.S. economy and get rich, but then all you see is black dudes with locks and they pants down, drawers practically showing, don't own nothing, quick to hurt and steal from other blacks that are similar to them? Like, I mean, what are you doing? Like, what? My goal is to own. Like, and I know that's dangerous for me being a black man to say on this airway, but I'm trying to own something. You know, I'm not trying to. And it's crazy how they program our minds to think that the only way we gonna have something is by working for them. They train us to think that way. And it's like those of us that don't think that way, they find a way to get rid of you. Either they frame you or they do something to you. Where Kevin Samuels at? Okay. So y'all ever notice how it's a bunch of black celebrities with millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, but I bet you can't name nothing that hardly any of them have done that makes life easier and better for other blacks. You can't, and there's reasons for it that I'm not even going to get into all the reasons. I know a lot of them that I'm not going to get into. Not on here. But, and then the loyalty that the black woman has to massa and to other races is just ridiculous. I've literally seen them rest in bitch face with black dudes, and then when the white dudes come in, the other races, they like, hi. I'll be like, yeah, look at that. I be saying to myself, look at that garbage. You trash, bro. You trash. And that's why I say black love is a myth. It is, because they have joined forces with the people that don't want to see us climb. And it's not all of them, but it's a whole bunch of them for it to be highly noticeable. Then they give us their little drugs, of course. They give us, look, the only way you gonna make money is to get a job. Like, I even been told, man, you need to get a job, man. That gig work ain't where it's at. You need to get a job. You want a job? Go get you one. A job at this point, yeah, it'll make things go faster, but it's still gonna be slavery. And one thing about massa is massa can discern when there's somebody present that don't have the slave mentality. And they don't like having those type of people around. So, and if they don't discern it, then the devil will make sure they do. See, you gotta, this gonna sound weird to you. You gotta care about money and your financial well-being, but you gotta not care too much about money and your financial well-being. Let me explain that weird phrase. Like, you should care. You should do what you need to do to get ahead and get on top. But you shouldn't be willing to do anything to get ahead and get on top. And you shouldn't be willing to allow people to emasculate you, get ahead and get on top. They got these dudes putting on dresses, all type of stuff, and they doing it too. Just for money. Man, please. I can get money. That's fine. That is fine. Thinking back, it's now that I think about it, I remember a time when she, the one at the house, tried to get me to put on one of her wigs, and was pressing the issue too. Pressing. Like, where I am now, it's like I think back to that like, I should have knew. Like, these chicks is a trip. If you need them, you in bad shape, man. I'm gonna just tell you flat out. If you need them, you in bad shape. Horrible shape. Horrible. Horrible. So, they done, like I say, they done figured out and presented other forms of slavery. Like this talk I be talking about with this money, they don't want you to hear about that. Because think about it. If you apply what I be saying about money, you're going to be in the top 1% when it's all said and done. You start doing that stuff I talk about, like making sure your bills is only half of what you take home, and saving your money and having income streams and having multiple things you do to generate money and putting your money back into your business and investing not to build wealth but to maintain wealth that's built, you're gonna be a boss, and I'm gonna be a boss. Like I say, I've been doing an excellent job of kind of limiting, and people been trying to talk about business and stuff, but I've been real careful not to discuss my plans. They not even ideas no more, they plans. They started out as ideas, now they plans because I'm working towards them. It's a big difference. That these people, I'm telling you, man, when you broke, it's like it make you act weird and like jumpy and jittery and psychotic if you're not careful. If you don't learn how to level out your mind. That's why you gotta watch these people out here when you driving, man, because they on edge. They got bad relationships and they ain't got no money. They acting like they got more money than they actually got. But I could tell how they act and how they drive. They ain't got money like that. And I told y'all, I be looking at receipts and stuff. Like if I go to an ATM and it's a receipt still in there, I be looking at it. And I think the most I saw on a receipt was like 19,000. And that's thousands of receipts. Then it was one that was 6,000. All the rest was just hundreds of thousands or hundreds of dollars, barely even 1,000. I would say like 85, 90% of them was barely $1,000 in the account. Now, it could be reasons for that, but still, I'm not finna stop, man. Could be reasons for it. But I just want to come through and talk to you about that. They done got us to accept different forms of slavery. That's why you think the stats say that black people ain't no better off than they were during slavery. And that's weird. Being in the U.S., working in the U.S., that's kind of like disheartening. But anyway, I do thank y'all for watching. I'm back where I need to be. Stay tuned for more videos.